Welcome back to AFL Tonight. I'm Kath Loughnane. Well, Adelaide Crows defender Tom Doedee has been good enough to join us this evening. Tom, thanks for coming on the show. You're back in Geelong. What have you been up to?
No, not a whole lot. Sort of got back towards the start of last week, and then just been trying to keep myself busy. Uni's kicked into gear, been training, but outside of that, trying to be finding things to do, really.
So what's a typical day looking like for you during this weird time? Are you exercising every day or have any strange hobbies?
No, not any strange hobbies. But yeah, exercising as regular as possible, whether it's an actual running session or just trying to kill some time doing something out in the gym. But no, hobbies-wise, I'm a big movie watcher, so it gets a bit dangerous at times. I sort of feel like I might have to pull back on the movies. I've been watching a bit too many, so might have to settle down on that one.
Any recommendations?
I've been watching Tiger King on Netflix at the moment, TV show that everyone's sort of getting into. But yeah, that's sort of taken up my time. That's one of those binge watch shows I'm trying to get out of and get some fresh air sometimes.
Yeah, that and Ozark seem to be the rage at the moment.
Yeah.
Hey, what about any teammate being a particular pest during this shutdown period?
No, not as of yet. I'd expect a few to kick into gear soon. We've had pretty good communication so far, just in regards to training programs and stuff. But once it gets probably week 2, 3, and we start to get a little bit bored, I'd imagine we'll have some more blokes calling up asking for chats and things to do. But at the moment, pretty good.
So who are the pests that are going to start bugging you in 2 to 3 weeks?
The best. Who would be the most for me? I would say probably, hang on, I'll just flick this off for a sec. I would say number 1 would be Lachlan Scholl. He's one of our second-year defenders. And then Fisher Mackesy as well. You never know what you're going to get from them too, especially I look after them in Adelaide once a week for dinner, so they might be calling up asking to come over, but I'll obviously have to tell them no.
Okay, well, we'll chat in 2 to 3 weeks' time and see what they're up to. Hey, I wanted to chat more about your football situation. You do your ACL in round 1 last year. 12 months on, you're set to make your return in the SANFL when coronavirus strikes. How frustrating is the timing of all this for you?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind sort of 3 weeks, 4 weeks for everyone. But yeah, I've gone through getting ready for round 1, had the little step back, and then building up to round 1 again, but it was possibly going to be SANFL instead of AFL. And then, the coronavirus hits, round 1's played, I'm not out there, and next thing you know, the season's postponed, and I'm back in Geelong with my family at the moment. So all happened really quickly, and it feels like, honestly, round 1 feels already like it was 2 months ago with how the weeks have gone. But, it's been a crazy sort of time for everyone, but especially with me with the knee, it's been a bit frustrating.
You sound like you're in good spirits, but has this been perhaps one of the most mentally challenging periods of your life?
Yeah, I've had a few experiences early on in my years. My eldest brother had a car accident when I was younger, which was probably the toughest for me and my family. So that built some adversity through us, or built some strength through the adversity. But in terms of just me and trying to deal with this on my own, it's been pretty tough, especially coming in each day doing a swim or a bike session that just gets mundane and repetitive. But you see the light at the end of the tunnel once you start training with the boys again, and that's gladly where I got to. Or in regards to coronavirus, it got taken away. But at that time, once you see that light, it gets a lot better.
So what's the plan for the next few months when it sounds like all you needed was a bit of game time and match simulation and you would have been good to go?
Yeah, well, the plan, obviously we don't know exactly what's going on with the season. Hopefully it does return at the end of May, like being said. But for now, to basically be just like everyone else in the AFL, really. Just train, keep fit, keep my weights up and my strength going on, and then try to make sure I don't watch too many movies. But in that sense, just get ready for round 2 whenever that does come along, or whatever round it is when we return. But at the moment, pretty much the same as everyone else.
Pretty bizarre situation for Matthew Nicks to deal with in not only his first year at the Crows, but his first year as a head coach. How has he handled it?
Yeah, he's been really good. He come in early, brought in a really good culture of just team first, relationships, things like that. And that'll obviously be tested now, considering we're all in different parts and not allowed to train together. But what he's built foundation-wise from the first few months he got in here, So even what he showed round one, what the boys said, how he coached, how he handled the game, I think the foundation he's built will stand up during this period, and that goes to Adam Kelly as well as the head of football now. He's obviously had a pretty tumultuous start to his career, as Nixie has, but they've both done a lot of hard work early on that's going to pay dividends now.
So forget about coronavirus for a second. How does life at the Crows, or did it compare to life under Don Pyke?
Yeah, not too much different in terms of coaching-wise. Like, Pikey was really good with relationships as well. Nixie's probably a bit more emphasis on the fundamentals of the game and then build into sort of the game plan. But the biggest difference for us as a team was the mass exodus of senior players. I think we had seven senior players leave, and then obviously we had a new draft class come in. So that was probably the biggest change for us, not so much Nixie to Pikey, which has been different. Obviously, they're different people, but more just the fact that we've had younger players who've had to step up in terms of leadership, but then also we've lost that age group where they can take over training, things like that. So that's probably been the biggest difference, yeah.
As you said, so much uncertainty about this season, but do you think however it plays out, whoever wins, it will seem like less of a premiership, because there's always going to be an asterisk next to this year?
Yeah, it will be weird. I'll echo what Phil said earlier in the day, just that I don't think it will be tainted in the sense of the winner will feel like they've won a flag, that it will be that premiership feeling. Hopefully it's us, but that'll be, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been obviously a weird sort of setup, but to go back to playing games, no matter how many we play, and then if you get through that final series, beat the best teams in the comp to then lift that premiership cup, there's no way it can be taken away from you, no matter whether there's an asterisk or whether the media talk about it. It's still a premiership. It's still something you've achieved with 21 of your best mates and a coach. So there's a lot of work that will go into it, whether it's 17-game season or less. So I don't think you can take that away from anyone.
Very true. Tom, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy life back in Geelong and ease up on the movies, hey?
I'll try to. I'm a bit of an addicted case at the moment, but I'll do my best. Thanks for having me.
We'll check in with Tom shortly.